The HR security or the HCM security can be implemented in two different ways. One that we have seen so far is using the general authorization checks, wherein we used various authorization objects such as p_origin or ppartner to restrict access to HR data. The second method, which is an extension of, could be an extension of general authorization checks, is by implementing the structural authorizations. Now, structural authorization is a concept using which you can restrict access to the personal data in certain substructures of an organizational unit. So the structural authorization is based on the organizational structure. So in this example that you see here in the picture, this picture shows a part of a data model in organization management. Now this model is based on the concept that each element in an organization is represented as an independent object with individual attributes. So what would be the elements of an organizational management? It would be a person or a job, a position, an org unit, a work center. So these are the different objects or elements of an org management, of an org structure. Now these objects are created and maintained individually. So you would create an org unit, and within that you would probably create a job or a position and then assign a person to the position. So all this maintenance is done individually. Now these objects are then, once these objects are created, these objects are then linked to each other using relationships to map a network which has the flexibility to perform personal planning, personal forecasts, and peer reporting. So if you look at the picture here, you would see the relationship between a position and an org unit is that either you can define that a position belongs to the org unit, or you can relate position to an org unit saying that the org unit incorporates the position. Similarly, the link between a person and a position could be defined as a person who occupies the position, or the position is held by this person. You can describe a job, task, a relationship between a job and a task, or a task and a position as a task describes a position, or the position is described by the task, or a relationship between a job and a task can be defined as a job is described by the task, or the task describes the job. So each element or each object in an org structure is linked to each other using relationships. Now if you see here, the cost center is an external object because it is not maintained in the org management. But the elements or the objects from the org structure can be linked with the cost center by assigning the cost center to those objects in the org structure. Now this model, that is, the object types, that is position, jobs, person, org units, work center, and the relationship is also the basis for other applications in personal planning, such as training and event management, and personal development. Now the structural profiles use the data model for personal planning component, and that is org management and personal development and training and event management, to build hierarchies using the objects and the relationships between them. Now, objects and relationships meaning between them, meaning suppose O stands for org units, S is for position, and P is for person. So the hierarchy is that org units incorporates other org units, or in this example, for example, it says, say, this org unit is a line supervisor of these 3 org units. Now, the B002 is how the data or the structure would be read. So it's top down. B is top down, that is from top to down. And for example, if you read top down, O1 incorporates as A1, S1. And if you read this relationship, there is A008, which is A stands for bottom up. So person P1 holds position S1. So the structure profiles used the hierarchies by making use of the objects and the relationships. Now different types of objects or object types and different types of relationships are used in this process. Now to manage the authorizations for this model effectively, the central elements of this data model are used, such as objects, relationships, and evaluation paths. Now the structural authorizations basically use the means of evaluation paths based on a root object, which is defined by its 8-digit object ID. So each element, such as the position, org unit, job, they are represented in the SAP system by a unique 8-digit object ID. And the evaluation path uses the root object to determine the user's access to the elements within the objects within the org structure. So once that evaluation path determines the objects, the authorizations is issued for all those objects. So structural authorization is used to restrict access to personal data in certain substructures of an org unit. And structural authorization check is used in 3 essential areas. There is display and maintenance of objects in org management, display and maintenance of all other HCM objects that are stored in the HRP structures. Any HR structure that begins with HRP, structural authorizations are effective on those structures. Organizational restrictions for the display and maintenance of personal administration data. So structural authorizations is an extension of security in HR environment. So you need the structural authorizations to restrict access to certain substructures in the org structure. And after that, you would still need the general authorizations, the security based on objects, to restrict access to the actual HR data, HR master data. So difference has to be very clear between, you have to understand the difference between general authorizations and structural authorizations very clearly. General authorizations restrict access to the data itself, HR data, whereas the structural authorizations restrict access to substructures within an organizational unit, such as access to positions and jobs. But structural authorization doesn't say what positions or what jobs. It only that is done by the general authorization objects. So this is a brief introduction to structural authorizations. In the next video, we will see how we can define or what is an evaluation path, because that is the most critical element when you implement structural authorizations.